What up, everybody? It's a gorgeous day for winter time. I mean, probably a result of climate change, but hey, it's sunny. Whoopee. But yeah, do I have a hell of a DMT story for you? And this is from that same deadly fucking dead. Fuck his whistling. Anyways, deadly fucking one-hit breakthrough cart, man. Jeepers. That fucking thing is so strong. My god. But yeah, so the first one was oh god, sorry, I can't fucking swear with this fucking wind. Jesus. Okay, so, and I was in a different environment too. This is when I was dog sitting at someone else's house, but it was really nice because I had the dog sleeping beside me, and these two fucking shitty little mischievous kitties running around. I use shitty kitties, a term of endearment. They're fucking hilarious, but they're shit disturbers. Like, they'll be fucking digging through my bags and knocking my picks out of my hand. Shit. But yeah, so I took fucking the hit, and I was like, okay, I want to make sure I really fucking get somewhere. So and you know, as I said, one hit has been enough, but like I took like maybe like a half of a hit until, you know, it starts blinking and it essentially cuts you off so you don't burn out with the coils. And so I held it and like I remember there like some vague sort of shapes started to form, and symmetry, and then I got this big flash of and if you Google like DMT art, like I think there's one image where it's like a big blue thing with what looks like horns. Looked like that, but not blue. And it was like, I don't know, kind of gray or grayish, reddish. But I just caught a glimpse of it for a second, and I could tell this was like the puppet master, which is what I call the like main entity that's controlling all these other entities, or is, I don't know, working in sync with them. I don't know the fucking technicalities of that, but anyways, caught a flash of that, and then boom, like for some reason my brain kept going demon, devils. And as I said, I'm not a religious person. I believe in evil in the world, but I don't believe in the notions of possession or demons. And I mean, I could be wrong. So, you know, I don't play with Ouija boards or anything like that. But you know, these things were so cool. Fucking, there were like 3 or 4 of them in front of me, and just like going like real auditory flanger effect hallucinations. Like, this was a pretty heavy duty breakthrough. And they looked like parasails, but if the lines and the creases in the sails were all fuzzy wuzzy, and I could feel their fuzzy wuzziness, and they had these little faces that kind of looked like demons. Maybe kind of, I guess, but yeah, they had this like dark red, orange, black color going, and I got no malicious vibes from them whatsoever, though. They I could feel the warmth of them as they came towards me, and then oh god, I mean, I can't remember how long I was fucking dancing with these things for, and then this is like kind of something I've come to expect now with DMT, even though I try not to expect anything. But they all sort of came together and then moved towards my head and opened up sort of a vortex that brought me to another space, kind of where usually that big dome thing is, and underneath the dome, actually before this next part happened, I got the fucking I just got the startle of my life, but it wasn't from the DMT. It was from one of the cats fucking pushing the door open. And I thought, oh shit, the fucking person whose dog I'm sitting is home, who's cool with psychedelics, by the way, but it scared the crap out of me. And so I kind of woke up for a sec. Oh, it's just a cat. Cat came up. Cat was crawling all over me while I was fucking like in this fucking like daze, this somnolent, like partially mobile state. And it was just great. I could feel the purring of the cat on me, the snoring of the dog beside me, and yeah. And so under the dome, these very erotic sort of, this sounds weird, but erotic geometric patterns. They didn't seem to have bodies. I mean, kind of like H.R. Giger stuff, but less anthropomorphic in terms of design. And it was like they're inside lava lamps or something and going like, and at this point I was kind of past the peak and I knew I was starting to come down, so I just started dancing with them because I could move a little bit, just and I had this vibrating, this euphoric vibrating through my body. It was just it was so nice. And yeah, no, I felt fucking aroused. I mean, I didn't diddle myself or anything. I was in someone else's fucking house. But like I haven't had like an erotic sort of series of sensations or visuals from DMT in a long time. Like, as I said, back when I was doing the Chong every day for like 35 days or whatever, it was like I developed this DMT girlfriend who I would see every time I was there and mess around with, but you know, I just didn't see her for a long time. I mean, I saw her, I think, once doing 4-ACO DMT with my eyes closed while I was taking a shower, and I did a big whack of ketamine. But other than that, you know, as she just kind of disappeared and I never saw her again. And I wouldn't say these things were her, but I mean, I don't know, they just elicited this erotic feeling. They were dancing like this. And oh yeah, and by the way, I was listening to Boren and their Club of Gore. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but they are probably my favorite dark jazz band. I think they're German. I mean, the name kind of gives it away. But I put on Prowler first, and then YouTube just kind of went through each song after another. I think ended on like Midnight Radio or whatever, which is not necessarily a song. I think it's like a series of jams. I could be wrong. I'm not super duper well versed on their music. All I know is that I like it, and that's very atmospheric and eerie. But it just, yeah, I don't know, there's something about weird jazz and DMT that just goes together very well. I don't get the auditory hallucinations of alien jazz or whatever that people say they hear. They liken it to the sort of the Star Wars cantina music. I don't know if I've heard that. Maybe I have when I've been like really fucking in a heavy duty fucking breakthrough. And I just was like so overwhelmed I wasn't paying attention to it, but I was getting crazy auditory, like wow, 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 kind of flying air effects. And yeah, no, it's fucking cool, man. Fucking, I'm so happy with this cart. It was such a good investment. For $100, man, I have had like probably like 10 breakthroughs with it, and I'm like maybe halfway through. So yeah, no, I am super stoked to have found a cart that actually works, for sure. So yeah, that was a fucking good time and a half. And then I did some K fucking as I was coming down, because I was gonna do some more, because I was like, that was so fucking cool, dude. I was gonna do some more, but I think my battery on the cart, or on the mod, or whatever you want to call the thing you connect the cart to, ran out. So I did some K, and And it was interesting. It was like it reignited the DMT, and I was watching Blue Velvet while I was tripping, and I love David Lynch. I have written so many video essays on his movies, and I'm starting to believe that he doesn't even know what the allegory of his films are about, but he just he has these ideas and he portrays them. I thought he just kind of really held his cards close and just wouldn't tell people what his films meant because he wanted them to figure it out for himself or for themselves, but I don't think he even knows what they mean. Previously, I sort of, even though Blue Velvet is one of my favorite films by him, probably like I would say, I hate playing the favorites game, but my favorites in terms of just what was impactful to me, like I really think Inland Empire is one of the more interesting in terms of the surreal imagery, but it is kind of a tedious film to get through. It's very long, it's very disorienting, it's very nonsensical compared to his other stuff, which is already fairly nonsensical, using dream logic and what have you. Yeah, I'd say my favorites would be sorry, construction worker it's kind of crane fucking yelling at me, like it's always watching me when I'm out here smoking. It's weird. Anyways, yeah, so I'd say probably Mulholland Drive, my favorite. That movie's legitimately made me cry. That's the one I probably analyzed the most. Twin Peaks, the series, the movie was it was okay. Fire Walk with Me, but Twin Peaks season 1 and then season 3, holy fuck, like season 3 is something else, man. It rivals, I'd say, Inland Empire in terms of how confusing it is, but it's a little bit more palatable because there's humor, there's more of a wacky sort of cast of reoccurring characters that you get to know if you're as invested in the show as I am, and that you want to see more of. And he does something that I think is very subversive in season 3, which I won't give away, but so I'd say that's like probably number 2 in terms of David Lynch, and then probably Blue Velvet, Lost Highway, Inland Empire. Blue Velvet, though, I think is a fucking masterpiece. I can see why David Foster Wallace, he wrote a great essay on what Lynchian really is. Like, he's the one who coined that term. And, basically it means something highly bizarre, uncanny, and typically is predicated by like extreme violence or body horror, uncanny valley, just very like weird, unnerving stuff going on. But it's portrayed as if it's just completely normal. Like the backdrop is completely normal. Like David Foster Wallace has some great analogies for that. My analogy that I came up with a long time ago was it's like a postman, an old postman who everybody in the area loves, and he's been going through this one suburb for decades and decades and decades, and his wife died a long time ago, so he's a widower, and this one woman sort of coaxes him into an affair, and then says, "Oh, he raped me," and then he gets hauled off to jail, and then it ends with a shot of the entire neighborhood that has this happy facade and like having a crazy fucking like bloody orgy fucking as a new postman walks up to the neighborhood. That's my sort of analogy. David Foster Wallace came up with a great one where it's like a dude is living in a suburb with his wife, and he kills his wife because she didn't buy Skippy peanut butter. She bought some other brand of peanut butter. So the cops come over to arrest him for murdering his wife for buying the wrong peanut butter, and he explains, well, she didn't buy Skippy, she bought this crap. And they're like, oh yeah, that's perfectly reasonable, you're free to go. Like, that's kind of, you know, what Lynchian is getting at. But that, again, is an idea. That's something, like, when Lynch, I think, was asked about it, he was like, what the hell is Lynchian? You know, and again, this ties back into how I think he doesn't truly know what his ideas mean, but he just, like, I haven't read his book, Catching the Big Fish, about how he meditates, goes deep into his subconscious and sort of grabs these ideas that are already there in the sort of collective unconscious, and does something with them, which I think is pretty cool. But in any case, Blue Velvet, though, was I think the most straightforward in terms of what the allegory was, if there is an allegory anyways. And it's that there is, behind the facade of this normal, happy town, lumber town, is a very dark underbelly. And that's kind of always what I thought. Like, the opening scene sort of solidifies that with the, you know, the she wore blue velvet, bluer than velvet was the night. It's a very happy song, unless it, like, it's happy in terms of its tone, but it's also very dark in terms of its implications. So very fitting. And you see these kind of, like, a school guard or crosswalk guard, who's like ushering the kids across, and this fire truck goes by, and the firemen are waving at the camera. Everyone's so happy. This guy's watering his lawn, and then he has a stroke and fucking falls over, and the camera pans into the grass, and in the grass there's all these insects crawling around making these nasty sounds. Like, I thought that scene basically summed up the whole movie. But watching it again, it was more of kind of a twisted coming-of-age tale. Like, I saw it through a lens of Kyle MacLachlan's character, Jeffrey Combs or whatever, is him being sort of sexually inexperienced, being a young man. Like, I think he's supposed to be a teenager. He looks very young, or he did at the time, so, you know, kind of it works. It's not like, oh, I'm just watching an adult here. But he, instead of being exposed to sex, like, through proper education or whatever, he inserts himself into this underbelly, this seedy underbelly, and starts to experience sex in a very deviant way. And that sort of rubs off on him, and it gives him this drive to sort of fight fire with fire by finding out what's going on, even though he acts like he kind of doesn't know. But at the same time, it shows that he does know what he's doing very well by, like, trying to track down these bad guys. And by the way, Dennis Hopper's character, Frank, is one of the most terrifying villains I've seen in a movie. Like, when he's huffing the amyls, like, he's actually huffing amyl nitrate. Like, apparently in the script it's supposed to be helium, and Dennis Hopper was like, well, why would he do that? That's just gonna make him sound like fucking Daffy Duck. Like, that's not scary. Like, there's this thing called amyl nitrate. You can go into a pharmacy, because this was back in the day where you could buy it legally if you just say you have angina, like Hunter S. Thompson used to do. And David Lynch, what the hell is amyl nitrate? And he was like, just go get it. And he was like, okay, if you say so, Dennis. And I'm glad he did, because when he's, like, huffing on that thing, like, you see his fucking, like, veins in his forehead start bulging, and it's just like, it's so unnerving. He's like, mommy, baby wants to fuck. Like, it's so creepy. Like, you know what a love letter is? You know what a love letter is, fucker? Love letter is a fucking bullet from a fucking gun, fucker. You get a love letter from me, you're fucking dead, fucker. Oh my god, it's such an insane, fucking brilliant movie. But eventually, yeah, actually, I won't say the ending because I don't want to spoil it for those of you who have seen it. If you want me to do a full-on analysis of this, I can. But in any case, it was really cool seeing it with that lingering DMT sort of visuals and headspace brought out by the K. But yeah, anyways, I've gone on for long enough, so catch you later.